Time now is 7:33. It's time for Mayor Monday, and this week we're putting a spotlight on the city of Hood River.
It is home to some of Oregon's best wineries, hiking, outdoor activities like fishing. They got some great breweries in Hood River. And joining us live is newly elected Mayor Paul Blackburn. Thanks for being here with us.
Good morning, you guys. I like what you're saying about our town.
Well, you've earned it.
Well, I mean, honestly, and I'm not just saying this because you're here, Hood River is one of my favorite towns in Oregon. I'm there quite a bit. Tell me, how has your first few months as mayor been there?
Well, you have excellent taste, my friend. Thanks for coming back. We have a lot going on as ever. We're really enjoying the winter. It's been a great season up on the mountain. I was just up with a buddy, and the 10-foot tall sign up at Teacup Nordic is absolutely at ankle height, so we're having fun with the snow. We're not getting quite enough rain down low, but the irrigators will be happy because the snowpack feeding the reservoirs for the fruit will be in good shape.
Oh, good news. Good news there. On the infrastructure side, the White Salmon Bridge is being replaced. What's the status of that project right now?
I'm sure many of our viewers have been across that bridge, and many of them have probably tucked in their mirrors because it's that kind of a situation. It's a 100-year-old facility, and of course the whole gorge really is one community. White Salmon, Bingen, Hood River, the Dalles. We all work together, and we all live in different places and work in different places. So that the teeteriness of that bridge is a grave concern. There is a bi-state group working together with the counties on both sides and the mayors on both sides. The only way to fix a bridge like that, as you all know from Metro, is with outside funding. So we're working closely together locally to get support for states on both sides, state of Washington and Oregon, and then finally some federal money. And the last bit will finance and pay for tolls. But there's a lot of moving parts. We're really uncertain how soon we'll be able to start construction. We're really uncertain what the toll rate will need to be to pay for the bond. It's a big project, and it's very scary. Every time I drive across it, I say, oh, let me not be the mayor when something happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said there's no real date until all the pieces come together, but is there a goal? Do you have a goal for the date that you would like to start the replacement?
The charts the consultants have shown me include numbers like $520 million, which is just a head-spinning amount, but then they break it down and how we would achieve that goal, and we might be driving and walking and biking across it in 2029.
2029. All
Okay.
right. Definitely keep an eye on that as the years go by here. Housing costs, that's something that has been a big storyline, it feels like across the U.S., but of course along the West Coast. Hood River, no exception. What have you been battling in terms of housing costs out in your neck of the woods?
There was a piece a few months ago that put Hood River County as the most expensive average house for sale. Now, of course, the data sets are imperfect, and somebody I'm sure is going to call in and tell you why I'm wrong, but the average house for sale in that report was $750,000, which is of course affordable to few. So it's a real problem for us. It's an economic problem for us. It's a humanitarian problem for us. It's a convenience problem for us. I'm sure this is not news to anybody. We're working hard. We fund the Mid-Columbia Action Agency for community action for an actual homeless shelter at the bottom rung. We've restricted short-term rentals for sort of a next rung to keep inventory solid. We just passed the missing middle housing zoning, which allows more flexibility for what kind of homes can be built in different zones, which of course is not universally beloved because suddenly the R1 zone might experience some more density. The state is working hard on this. We're working hard on this. There's no magic bullet, but I do think there is some magic buckshot. And piece by piece, we can have some impact on making our community livable.
Yeah, you're so tourist oriented. I mean, people come into Hood River, whether it be for the weekend or for the day, and you've got to have room for people to be able to afford to live there who service all those tourists that come in the service industry. So are you finding that there's a crunch there in terms of affordable housing for the people who need to live and work in Hood River?
Total crunch. Sometimes I think the main job of the mayor is to be to prevent conflict among our different users, because as you say, big tourist economy, big fruit economy, big tech economy, and just folks living and working and fighting fire and teaching school. So having the right accommodations for everybody, because each of those economies is not identical in its needs and desires. And so something that might help tourism with multiple, lots of STRs is not really helping the other economy that requires worker housing. So figuring out how to make it as best we can for as many as possible is an ongoing challenge. And as you can imagine, it's a delicate balance.
Yeah, that's a tough job, I'm sure. Well, Mayor Paul Blackburn, really appreciate you taking the time to join us here on AM Extra. And as Ken said, it's seal of approval of one of Ken's favorite towns in the state. So.
Oh, no doubt about it. Yeah.
Thanks, you guys. Good to be with you.
Take care. And to stay up to date on what's happening in communities across our area, be sure to check out our previous Mayor Monday segments. You can go to coin.com and click on the AM Extra tab.